Now, what is the timeline in terms of, like, does SpaceX have a multiple stage timeline, like a timeline for incorporating the Dragon crew, and then a timeline for the Starhopper, and then a timeline for additional projects in the future? Like, is he thinking along these lines of charted out progress?
Oh yeah. He's in fact he measures pretty much every major decision by whether or not it brings the day when we have a self-sustainable colony on Mars sooner or later. That's the prism by which he makes every single decision he makes it through that prism.
Jesus.
Yeah. So he's got an idea, and he'll keep pushing, and he gives us aggressive timelines that we have to work to, and we work really hard to try to meet them. It's hard when you're doing stuff that's this complicated to predict exactly how long it's going to take. So, we end up often falling a little bit behind, but we do our best. That's
the case, though, with everything that's that crazy, right?
Yeah.
Especially with Elon, he's never right in his predictions. All his wacky inventions, they're always a little off,
Yeah.
But when you think...
But he's so driven, and he's such a smart guy, and he's really the most driven person I think I've ever met. I'll give you a story to kind of illustrate it. Once, when I first got hired by SpaceX, we did an interview with 60 Minutes, and they interviewed Elon and myself, and Scott Pelley was the anchor. He talked to us, and he said to me, "Why did you leave NASA and come work for SpaceX? You had like the best gig in the world, going up on rockets and stuff. Why would you do that?" And I said, "Well, if you can go back in time and you were a young engineer and you had the opportunity to like get in on the ground floor and work with Howard Hughes, when he was like doing all the crazy stuff he was doing in his day, wouldn't you want to be a part of that?" And Scott Pelley looked at me like with a deer in the headlights look, because I don't think he knew what I was talking about. But I was like, but then I realized as soon as I said that, like, oh my God, I just made a terrible strategic error. I compared my boss to Howard Hughes, and things didn't end up that well for Howard,
He went crazy, right?
He went kind of crazy. He became
washed his hands too much and
germaphobe. He was peeing in jars, and like his fingernails grew out like.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I really kind of stepped in it, right? So, you don't want to say that about the boss,
right?
So it took a while. It was like months later. We were driving in a rental car, just the two of us, in Florida. We had a meeting at NASA, and we were driving back to the airport to get on his airplane to come back to LA. And I'm driving the car. He's sitting in the passenger seat. And I said, "Hey, boss, remember that time we were on TV and I compared you to Howard Hughes? I just want you to know I was comparing you to the young, dashing, starlet dating Howard Hughes, not the old, decrepit, peeing in jars, fingernail guy."
So his ultimate goal is to create some sort of a colony on Mars, but he believes that this technology will continue to expand to the point where we will be leaving our solar system. We will be making human trips into other solar systems, into actual deep space.
Yeah, certainly, hopefully that's, at some point, if we're going to survive, if you take the really long view, the solar system's not going to last forever.
Right.
It's going to last plenty long. And if my kids are listening at home, don't worry.
They're freaking out right now, especially a 2-year-old. Oh, no, Daddy said we're going to die.
No, we got plenty of time.
Couple billion years, kids. Relax. It's not in our lifetime.
They're so funny. But eventually, we're going to have to find a new home if we're going to last forever. And we all hope that we last forever as a species, right? So, or at least most of us do. So... eventually we got to get there, but we got plenty of time. In the short term, the important thing is at least getting out, so we're not in just one place in the solar system, because this, something bad could happen to this planet, and we got no backup.
Right, particularly if there is a natural situation, supervolcano, asteroid impact,
or. We're doing a pretty good job of trashing this place all on our own.
Yes,
we don't really need an asteroid to hit us. We're kind of going down the road of making this place uninhabitable.
Well, what we need is someone like Elon who concentrates on the solutions. He's obviously got a full plate, many full plates, but someone like him to concentrate on solutions to some of the environmental problems that we've created for ourselves here.
Well, that was the thought behind Tesla. So Tesla's kind of like plan A, save this planet, and SpaceX is kind of plan B, if you look at it that way.
It's just so weird to have a guy like that amongst us.
Yeah,
You know?
especially have him as your boss. It's really weird.
Have you talked to him at all about simulation theory?
We never. The thing is, every time I talk to him, we focused on, and this is what he does. He focuses on the thing that we are working on. So that's one of the ways he does his time management. That's one of the ways he is able to do all these things. It's like he doesn't sit around and BS with you about like what's going on with was a Neuralink, the company where he's making the chips that go in your head.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That's the other thing he does.
That one.
He's changing the way humans interface with data.
He never said to me like, Garret, what do you think about having a chip in your head? That like never. He doesn't do that. He talks to the people who really know about chips and putting chips in people's head. He talks to them about it. So
Are you going to sign up for that?
No.
Your face.